Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, November the 13th, 2023. November the 13th, 2023. Well, you know what? We start off with Mr. Wiley, the family event planner, saying that he wants to go to Nina's office because she says that she can come anytime. He can come anytime after school and she'll help him with his homework. So he wanted to go today. And Willow reminded him, "Nah, you got T-ball practice, buddy." So he says, "Well, after practice." And Michael's face is kind of like, but he's not voicing anything in front of Wiley. He's not, he's just, as Wiley's talking to Willow, Wiley's not looking at Michael. And so he left his math workbook upstairs and Willow had him go get it. And so when he goes upstairs, Willow says, "You don't like any of this, do you?" And he said, "It's no secret how I feel about Nina, but I do try to not show it to Wiley." And Nina says, I'm not Nina, Willow says, "Thank you for that, but soon enough he'll pick up on it, right?" And she's kind of thinking, but she's made such great progress, over these past few months. What's the reservation, Michael? See, Michael has had chance after chance after chance to tell Willow. So Willow could decide for herself. Has Nina really made progress? Has she? Because if she could get another tidbit of information on something Carly has done, you want to know what she would do? Sing like a canary. She'd dime on her so fast, everybody's head would spin. But under the guise of, "It ain't me, it's somebody." No, that's Nina. So anyway, he says, I forget what Michael says. He says everything but what he should have said. "Let me tell you why I feel this way. This is what she's done. After she promised you she would stop this vendetta against my mother, this is what she's done." So anyway, whatever, right? So now the good part. Ned and Olivia reconnect in the sack, but Ned has a flashback. He flashed back to the day of the accident and what he overheard Martin and Nina talking about. And he sits up and he tells Olivia, "Oh my God, I just remembered something." And he goes, "I have to go tell Sonny. I have to tell." He's ready to go tell. And Olivia stopped him. I couldn't believe they wrote that. She says, "No, there's peace. Sonny just got married to Nina. And Drew just got out of prison." And Ned says, "Okay, I understand all that. But everybody was blaming me as the one who told, and it wasn't me." He says, "Olivia, even you blamed me in the beginning." He says, "Why would you want Nina to get away with that?" And she goes, "Well, I don't want her to get away with it, but I'm just saying for the sake of peace." He goes, "No, no. Mm-mm." He said, "People still think it was me. I have to clear my name." He says, "And I tell you what, I won't say anything right now, but I am going to clear my name. I am going to do it." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm thinking, why would you tell this man that? What you mean? You and your best friend Carly stopped speaking to each other for months behind that because she wanted you to put him out, which she was wrong for that. I wouldn't speak to her for months either. But that's the kind of damage. And you want this man to not say nothing get out of here. How are you supposed to work with Nina every day, Olivia? You know how your mouth is, right? So, no, her loyalty for Sonny should be he needs to know the truth and let him work his way back to happiness. That's what needs to happen. He needs to know the truth. Sonny does. Okay. Carly and Drew need to know too. Willow, most of all. Period. She needs to know. So anyway, they come downstairs and Ned's in his $2,000 suit, all shaved up. And Yuri's the first one that notices it because Brooklyn and Lois are talking about the music business for Blaze because Blaze wants different genres. And Yuri threw out their country music. Oh, he's been listening to country music, and country music is, they tell a story. And I mean, look, I've heard some great country songs too. I tell you, I know what Yuri's talking about, right? So anyway, Yuri looks up. He goes, "You're different." He noticed it right off. And Brooklyn looked, and Lois looked at him, and I think maybe Yuri said, "You're Ned." I forget who said it. And he goes, "Yep." And he goes, "What? The $2,000 suit gave it away," right? That's what Brooklyn said. And so they had a great hug, and Lois has to get her hug, and she's so happy. And he tells the story about, jumping in the lake, and Olivia saves them. And her voice was the one he had been looking for. She was the siren, right? So they're like, they can't wait for Leo to find out, So Leo's gonna be happy. But Leo was happy with Eddie too, but he missed his dad. He missed his dad. Um, so anyway, we'll see. We'll see. I think, Ned, by the end of November, we only got 2 more weeks for November sweeps. I think it's gonna come out in some kind of spectacular way. I really, really do. Um, so we have, let's see, the more they let Charlotte, and I'm talking about Laura and Valentine, the more they let her think they don't know what she's done, the more venom this girl is spreading. Anna's not here, is she? Mm-hmm. See, Miss Elizabeth needs to know. No, this girl was the one doing X, Y, and Z, right? She's a seed, bad seed, or a seed that she might be brainwashed, but Charlotte has had some Helena tendencies from early on. She really has. And so this is just a manifestation of never paying consequences. Lulu tried, but look how long Lulu unfortunately was in her life. Valentine, they never make her pay. I think they barely apologize to Aiden for all that bullying. So no, they're handling it the wrong way. But guess what? Anna went to Dante and Jordan, and she says this is off the record because she doesn't want Charlotte prosecuted. She said this is off the record, and she told him everything. And Dante pretty much knew. Dante's the one that told her the facts on what was in the backpack and all of that. But it's Valentine last night that connected all the dots. And she told them everything he said. And they're like, oh my God. And Jordan said, had Valentine just told you that it was Charlotte, Anna, you never would have armed yourself. You never would have. And she goes, I know. This whole shooting was unnecessary. The whole thing. And so one thing they're saying, okay, so now Charlotte definitely was not the shooter that fired the shots that the shot hit Kurt. He goes, that's not Charlotte. So there is two separate things going on at play. And Anna says, then I'm thinking I'm back to my original theory. The shooter was after Sonny, which is going to now be interesting. I believe it. I believe the shooter would be after Sonny because the danger for Sonny hasn't really started yet. Like, where is Pikeman? Remember, what was it, a month or so ago? The guy came in trying to force Sonny into moving another shipment, right? After Sonny got out of jail. See, Pikeman is just laying low way too much. It's almost like they don't know what they want to do with this whole Pikeman thing. They really don't. And it's dragging on way too much. So we have Chase. Chase took his dad to a doctor's appointment. And when he came out, Gregory really didn't want to tell him what, the progress or blah, blah, blah. But then he came out with his hand wrapped. And he goes, Dad, what happened? And he goes, well, either he fell this morning or the other day. And, they looked at it and it needed to be wrapped. And Chase is like, why didn't you tell me you fell? He says, well, because, I didn't think it was going to be that big a deal and whatever excuse he gave. And then he said the doctor said he wants him to start using a cane. And that was just devastating to him. And I thought, look, I use a cane when I walk my dogs. What you talking about, Gregory? I'm up out in the morning, 5 a.m, letting my 2 dogs out, on a leash, in front. And I have my cane. Well, for one, look, sometimes I'm still sleepy. I need that cane to steady me, right? Then coming up the stairs, I'm using that cane to help me leverage, push up, right? And then the cane for the walk out, picking up the little poof. I have the cane steadying me. I mean, come on now. At our age, you can never be too steady. So, plus, look, 5 a.m, y'all. Sometimes 4:50 in the morning. That's when the nocturnal animals are still out. Your coyotes, your raccoons that want to take on a human. So I have that cane for protection as well. But anyway, he just didn't think he'd ever get to where he needed a cane. And then the wheelchair is going to be coming next. And Chase just, gave him a pep talk, about how he always looked up to his father. His father seemed to be 10 foot tall. And anytime he was down, his father told him, I got you, son. I got you. And he looked at his father. He said, I got you, Dad. I got you. That was cute. I liked that. That was really cute. So that was nice. That was really nice. Now, Nina wants a cup of coffee. So where does she go? To Kelly's. Coffee and whatever, bagel or whatever croissant, I don't care. Right? So Carly's like, well, okay. Like thinking, why are you coming here? You own half a hotel. Right? And so she asks Nina about Charlotte, and Nina tells Carly about Charlotte and blah, blah, blah. At least Nina is saying Anna accidentally shot Charlotte, right? At least she is saying that. So Carly goes in the back to check on Nina's order, and the little bell rings for somebody's coming in the door. So Nina glances, and it's Martin. Martin sees her, turns around, and walks right out the door. She's, Martin, she grabs her purse and she goes out and she says, I've been trying to call you for a month. You haven't returned my text. You haven't returned my, oh, she's reaming him the new one. I should have you disbarred for giving up attorney-client privilege. And she's going on. And he looked at her and he told her. And she goes, I heard your voice informing on me. And so he goes, well, I can't even do it. I don't know why me and my accents are having a problem now. Well, Miss Reeves, he's like, it wasn't informing, it was more like confirming. He told him, he goes, oh, no, no. Michael knew it was you. He already knew. He just wanted confirmation. He says, my guess is he has somebody in the SEC that told him. He goes, so whether I confirmed it or not, he already knew. And so Nina's like, she's just looking at him. And so he says, and I'm going to tell you, Michael Corinthos, you better watch out because now he's painted a bullseye on your back. And so she goes, he's blackmailing me. And he goes, okay. He says, you'd do the same if you were in his shoes. I would not. I would. And Martin looked at her like, get out of here. You absolutely would blackmail her. And Nina would. She would blackmail anybody. Because that's Nina. And so he's like, well, and then he looked at her, and Carly saw them kind of having this conversation. So she was going to go because she had Nina's coffee and her order to go. So she was going to, open the door and she would have heard. But Drew says, Carly, he had to come by and get a cup of coffee. So she gives him Nina's cup of coffee. And they talk. And of course, they got a kiss. And then he wants them to have breakfast together. But I mean, breakfast is peak time for her, buddy. So how's that going to happen? She's working, Drew. She's working. So anyway, Carly comes out when Drew leaves, and Martin he just walked away. And Martin looked at her and he told her, he goes, by the way, watch your tone. He's like, don't talk to me that way no more. He goes, watch your tone. He said, because you need all the friends you can get. And he turned and he walked away from her. She just looked at him. And then when she turned, there was Carly looking like, what's going on here? So Nina's like, oh, Carly, there's something I need to tell you. And she goes, Martin and I know you saw Martin and I talking out here. Martin and I were actually talking about you. And Carly's like, what could you be talking to me about me? What about me could you two be talking about? And so she goes, with Charlotte's shooting and even before Charlotte's shooting, the running Crimson is full time and running the hotel is full time. So I'm going to have to give up one. I'm probably going to have to give up one. She says, Crimson is my baby, my dreams. Although I've enjoyed running the Metro Court, something has to give. And I was wondering, would you consider buying your half of the hotel back? And Carly looked at her, right? And she's like thinking, okay, what's the catch? What's the punchline? What hidden cameras do we have? You guys, what kind of prankster thing we got going? Because what? Right? And Carly looked at her, said, and as she's getting ready to respond or say something, Willow walks up because Wiley somehow accidentally kept Carly's T-ball cap that she wears to every game. I guess he had put it in his backpack and he wanted Willow to get it back to Carly. So she goes, Wiley sent this, somehow he had it in his backpack. And Carly goes, well, thank you, because that is her little signature hat she wears to his games. And so she goes, I'm so sorry. I just walked in and interrupted. You two were having a conversation. And Carly says, well, actually, Nina and I were talking about, she was offering me, the possibility of buying my shares of the MetroCorp back, or my ownership of the MetroCorp back. And Willow looked, she goes, really? And Nina says, yeah, we were just, opening up some dialogue on it. And Willow says, well, you know who you both should talk to is Michael. He could help facilitate this. And Nina just looked like, yeah, he is facilitating it more than you know. More than you know, right? So anyway, it kind of ended there. Michael should tell because it's gonna backfire on him. It's gonna come out that he's blackmailing Nina, and nobody's gonna like that because he didn't need to. And Carly would be telling him, I didn't want my share of the hotel back like that, Michael. You know. So we have Drew. Ned is on his way back to work at ELQ. He says, look, nobody's been at the helm forever. And he goes, I need my briefcase. And Olivia says, Michael has your briefcase. And he goes, why would Michael have my briefcase? She says, well, because nobody has been there. And I guess there was some deal that needed handling. She says, so Michael stepped up, but he needed the information from your briefcase and he handled the project or the deal. And he goes, well, then it's a good thing I got my memory back so I can go get my briefcase and go see what do I need to take care of at ELQ, right? So Drew comes in and he tells Michael, because they don't know Ned has his memory back, saying, Michael, I want to talk to you. It's time we take ELQ back. And I'm like, not that again. Now, Valentine ain't nowhere to be seen. It hasn't been in a year dealt with that company. Get him out some other kind of way. And I can understand they don't know Ned has his memory back. And they're like, Eddie, all he want to do is play his guitar and do music. Let's let him do him. But we need now the time is it's ripe for the picking for us to go after ELQ. So Michael said, but isn't insider trading what got you in trouble to begin with? He goes, it's not going to be any insider trading. He said, because the only two people that are going to know about this is you and I. That's it. So, but look, who has that 1% vote now? Tracy, not Lucy Coe. And I'm happy. Not Lucy, but Tracy. So things could be different, but if Tracy's maneuvering anything, it's for Ned to now be the CEO. Valentine could be out, but Ned's in charge. And you want to know something? Let him be. Get out of here. We've got Michael and Drew at Aurora. Michael having to pick up all the slack for how long, right? Although the whole time from when Willow told him about her diagnosis, which was last September, through May, he really hasn't been working. I don't know who was running Aurora. See, these companies are able to just run themselves, really. These companies are able to just do what they do with no CEO, COO, CF, nothing, right? So anyway, everybody, that's it. Now look, there's so many comments in Comment Corner. I don't even have time. I can't even do my little 10-minute timer because I've got some other things I need to do this evening for my professional business. This was fun, my recreational business, but I got other things I need to do tonight, so I cannot read Comment Corners, but 37 probably now. If I look, it'll be 39 of them. So I need you all to go to Comment Corner, do what you do best, talk to each other about the soaps, because that's what we do here on our daily recaps. We all talk about General Hospital. So I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap.